right, welcome to your on-campus interview. I'm your host, Cass Venner. Here with me, I have two DSU students. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, and then we'll get started.
Hi, my name is Natalie Lile.
My name is Dalton Herbst.
All right, so these two students have a huge role here on campus, so we're kind of going to dive into what they're both involved in. So Natalie, you are a student assistant director, correct?
Yes.
So what does that title kind of mean to you? What duties do you have to fulfill with that title?
So as a student assistant director of the Theodore Roosevelt Honors Leadership Program, it's a student-led program, so I get to do a lot of things involving the students, obviously. I get to form and run meetings, we do host a lot of events, and I just get to make sure that all of our scholars are in line and getting the things done that they need to be.
Totally. So initially when you joined TR, what encouraged you to, participate in that kind of stuff?
I kind of saw it as an opportunity. I mean, it's a great program. You get to learn so many things and meet a lot of people. It's like a second family outside of all the other things you might be doing on campus. So it's just a great way to meet people and to stay involved.
Totally. From my knowledge, you attain a leadership minor with this.
Yes.
What do you intend to pursue with your leadership minor, and what does that kind of entail for students who get that?
So I'm going into biology as a pre-vet option. So with that, I would get a leadership minor. Leadership really looks good with any major, so it doesn't really matter what major I'm going into. It looks good a lot with like business or education degrees, things like that, but leadership can boost you in anything, really.
Totally. All right, Dalton. So from my knowledge, you are the cheerleading captain, one of the cheerleading captains here on campus.
Yep.
So how long have you been on the cheerleading team?
I've been on the team here for 3 years.
3 years, okay. So you've started cheer, 3 years ago you were saying?
Yep, this is my third year on the team. I'm from Baker. We didn't have a cheer team in high school, so very new to me. My first 3 years of college here, I played football, and somehow got transferred over to the cheer team for my last 3 years.
Yeah, very cool. What kind of inspired you to just join and pick up and?
We'll give hats off to Kiara Schneider. She was the captain at one point when I was on the team, and she was big influence for the cheer team. She reached out to me when I was done playing football, and I said, why not? It seemed to be fate, so I said, let's get it. Jumped in.
Totally. What duties must you fulfill as captain?
Just about like what any other sports captain would do. Make sure our guys and girls are locked in on the season, focus in school, eating right, staying mentally right too. Just making sure we're focused all around the board to have a good season.
Totally. What events and competitions do you guys have in the future?
After Christmas break, about a week after Christmas break, we'll have our first one. And then after that, like our big competitions would be like Concordia. They have a day of duels, they invite a bunch of teams.
Okay.
But the bigger ones, obviously nationals at the end, NAIA nationals, where we have to obviously get a bid or qualify. And then this year we are going to Daytona in Florida to compete at nationals there.
When's that?
That is about like a week or two after NAIA nationals.
Very cool.
So they're kind of back to back, but we're gonna get it.
That's very cool. How,
Yeah.
what teams will you compete against? Just
To my knowledge, like this is our first year doing it, but it'll be a lot of the same teams. But I'm sure that we will compete against a plethora of different ones too.
Totally. Very cool. That's exciting for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye out for that for sure.
Absolutely.
So I have these two with me because they both fulfill very important roles with our upcoming event Yuletyme on December 9th. So I just have a couple questions about that. So what part does TR have for Yuletyme and like their duties that they need to, fulfill, I guess?
So we do a little bit of busy work. We kind of help out setting up throughout the week, and then when it comes time for the actual event, our scholars get to serve their donors, or if they don't have a donor there, they get to serve other people who may be there. So it's just a way to give back a portion of what they so generously give to us.
Totally. So if I remember from the past, the scholars dress up kind of like the theme. Are you guys dressing up this year, or is that like a secret, or do you have an idea?
We are. So this year the theme is Prom Through the Decades, so all of the scholars are dressing up as chaperones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so what part does cheer have in Yuletyme this year?
So the cheer team kind of just serves with open hands. We do whatever we're asked to do. Similar to TR, we'll help with setup. For the event, we'll help with little games, food, cleaning up food. Helping clean up after. We also do sober rides.
Oh, cool.
We did that last year, and I'm sure we'll do that again this year. It was a hit last year. They liked that little chauffeur action, but yeah, basically whatever we're asked to do, we'll do it with a smile on our face.
Totally. Well, we appreciate your guys' help. It does not go unnoticed, for sure. So with my final question for the both of you, what does DSU mean to you?
DSU means a close family to me, I think.
For sure, I agree with you.
DSU, what means to me, man, I've been asked that a few times over my past 6 years, and there's no real easy way or short way to answer it, but family, is that what you said? It is a pretty good way to put it. Maybe a little cliche, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's definitely the truth. So.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Well, thank you two. I appreciate you guys. So stay tuned. We're just going to play a quick little game for Yuletyme. Alright, so now we're going to play a little game that is Yuletyme themed. So like Natalie said earlier, the theme for Yuletyme is prom through the decades. So I've created a little PowerPoint with some prom dresses, and these two are going to have to guess which decade the prom dresses are from. All right, are you guys ready? You feeling confident?
No.
No,
No?
not really. We'll do our
fair.
best.
That's fair. All right, so the first one. So this one. So 80s, 50s, or 70s? Pink. Pink's still in style.
Pink
So.
is so style.
Not the 80s.
I feel like it might be the 70s.
70s.
I don't know. The 50s is throwing me
50
off.
seems too old. I'm gonna go 70s.
70s. All right, we'll reveal the answer. 70s is correct. Very good. One for one. That's pretty
We like
good.
that.
Next one. Ooh.
Okay, we got the broad shoulder action.
Okay.
40s, 60s, 80s. 40s might be a little.
I feel like it might be the 80s. So that ruffle.
I'm judging by the hair
the
here.
ruffle action. Yeah.
I'm judging by the hair. I'm gonna say 80s too.
80s.
I think the hair gave it away.
I think it did.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's okay.
I've been looking for
Help us
hair
out.
picture quality. The dress is just.
Yeah, it's a little much, isn't it?
Yeah. All right.
60s,
This is-
90s, or 80s?
This is the 90s.
That's a 90s style.
90s.
This is the
Yeah.
90s.
Little
For
slip
sure.
action.
There you go. 90s is correct. I believe this might be the last one.
Oh,
Or no,
let's
there's-
get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
40s, 60s, or 70s? Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, why is the picture so?
So
I mean, like,
poor.
it's good, but like, it's throwing me for a loop here.
I know.
I don't think it's the 70s.
I think it.
And 40s is too old.
I think it might be the 40s.
Do you think so? This might be the.
I think
mean,
the
you
hair
guys-
is throwing me off too.
The hair? I mean, you guys can disagree. I don't
This
know.
is true. 40s. So I'm gonna go. Final answer, B. 60s.
60s?
Okay.
Oh, end of the slideshow. It is the 60s. All right, thank you. All right, well, that's the game for you guys. Appreciate both of you coming in today.
Thank
As
you.
always, Hawks are up.
Hawks are up.
Hey guys, I'm your in-studio host, Dallas Mitchell. Here with me today, I have Haylee Culver. Haylee is Yuletyme Committee Chair, who is one of the many masterminds behind putting on this amazing annual event, as well as a huge support system to DSU. Haylee, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. I'm Haylee Culver. I am originally from Dickinson, and I currently work with a law firm called Gordon and Reese. And I am the DSU Heritage Foundation Vice President, Yuletyme Committee Chair, and just all-around DSU supporter.
Being an attorney, I know you're constantly busy and you're pretty involved heavily with the community, whether that be with DSU or when you're doing your law cases. How does that role come into effect when planning an event like Yuletyme?
One of the great things about being from Dickinson and working in Dickinson is that Dickinson is such a generous community. And so when we have events like Yuletyme or other fundraising events that I've been involved with, it's just a community that loves to give. And are very, very generous. For a community our size, we shouldn't have as many giant projects as we have. We have, Sanford Sports Complex, CTE building. You've got so many different, we have the Legacy Square, so many different projects going up at the same time. And DSU or Dickinson just shows up every single time. And it's just really great to be part of the community.
So a little fun fact about Haylee, she also is a CrossFit coach at CrossFit Amicus here in town. How does working out play a role in your life like that?
So I don't know if you know this, but my husband Mason and I actually started CrossFit Amicus, back in the day when it first opened with our partner Ryan Baxter at the time, and now Terry and Patty own it, who are great friends and have just done some amazing things with it. And so it's really fun to be a part of the community that they are fostering and creating there. Working out is so important just to relieve stress and for your mental and physical health, so I take it really seriously for those regards. But I really love about Amicus is the community. And even on days I don't want to go, which sometimes are more than the days I do, I know I'm going to see people that I enjoy being around and that are going to support and lift you up in your journey on fitness, kind of wherever you're at. So it's just a really great community to be a part of.
I feel like you have a laundry list of things that you're doing all the time. So how do you manage to make time for everything?
A lot of it is I'm okay not sitting around. I actually don't do well with a lot of free time. And so it's been really great for me to have so many opportunities in Dickinson to get involved, whether it's teaching as an adjunct at DSU, the Chamber, the Heritage Foundation Board, Legacy Square. They're all just such great projects. And it doesn't feel like work because I can see the impact in the community and you can feel the community support. So it's just a lot of fun.
I totally understand that because I am the same way. I do not do well with downtime. Sitting at home, I just get so antsy. I'm like, okay, I need to figure out something to do because I cannot just sit here any longer. But go back into more Yuletyme, can you give the audience some details about Yuletyme, when it is, the time, the theme, what they should show up wearing, stuff like that?
Sure. So Yuletyme this year is December 9th, and the doors open at 4:30. We've got our pre-party, which is themed as a casino theme because most prom post parties tend to be casino theme, it seems like. And so we've got some fun blackjack tables and roulette tables, all with fake money, no actual gambling, but just kind of some fun games to play, as well as some other casino style games for our attendees. And then upstairs they're going to have a great meal and then get back downstairs for the auction, and Slamabama is our band, and we're going to have an awesome dance. So those are all going to be super fun things. And then this year we did a prom through the decades theme. So if people want to wear, bust out their 70s or 80s prom dresses, that's fantastic. If you want to take a more modern approach and just get really formal and dressed up, you can do that too.
So what was the deciding factor on the decade prom theme?
So we've gotten away from doing some of the more formal prom or the more formal themes like we used to. Everyone was always in, very formal cocktail dresses or gowns. And for the last few years, we've kind of done more fun themes. But we had a few people say that they kind of miss getting dressed up once in a while. And so we thought this was a great way to kind of bridge that gap between people who want to just show up in a fun costumey outfit and have a great time, or people who want to get decked to the nines and show up in, full gown and tuxedo and just support DSU.
So Yuletyme has been around for a couple years now, and obviously talking about there's been many different themes. How has Yuletyme itself evolved over the years?
I think we try and be responsive to who our attendees are. It's the people that used to go when I first started going to Yuletyme, some of them are still there, and some we've got some brand new faces, which is fantastic. Like I said, we used to do a really formal themed, or we've had in the past decades, we've had country themes, all sorts of different things. But now we kind of have more of the fun themes where people can go different directions with it. So that's a great time. We've opened up the pre-party downstairs to everyone. It used to be you had to buy a separate ticket. Now everyone just gets to go have a good time. So it's just more social, I think. And we've tried to streamline the auction so that it's not such a big part of the evening. We obviously want to raise money, but we have really generous donors that help us do that at the event. So we want to make sure everyone has a good time too.
Yeah. What is something that the community can look forward to for this Yuletyme compared to the ones in the past?
Oh, well, we've got some great new auction items that we haven't had before. There's an Argentinian dove hunt on the texting auction. That's a crazy kind of once in a lifetime auction item. So that was really cool. We've got Diamondbacks tickets. We've got some cool trips. We've got handmade crafts. So so the auction is going to be really cool with a bunch of a good variety of items and things that we think will go at kind of different price points so that everyone can participate and not, it doesn't have to be that you open your checkbook up, super wide. It's whatever you can do to participate. One thing that I think is going to be super fun this year because of the prom theme is the prom king and queen.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, so if you buy a VIP server before, I think Thursday at midnight is the cutoff, Thursday night. So if you buy a VIP server, your suite can nominate a prom king and queen, and then we'll actually have prom king and queen voting at the event, and we'll name a DSU Heritage Foundation prom king and queen.
Yep, so it's like the real deal with prom this year.
Absolutely.
What is your personal favorite thing about this year's Yuletime?
Oh, man.
If you could only pick one, I know it might be hard.
I think it would have to be the pre-party downstairs. We've got, just like I said, some blackjack tables, we've got roulette tables, and some other fun games coming in. And it's just a really fun time to socialize with everyone that's going to be there, check out everyone's outfits, and just kind of start the night off right.
I know we kind of talked about when we first started how the community means so much to you. What specifically does DSU mean to you?
I definitely would not be where I am without DSU. My mom and dad moved to Berlin right out of high school. My dad was in the military, and so my mom didn't have a chance to go to college before they left, obviously. And so when they came back from Berlin, she started at DSU as a non-traditional student. And I still remember her studying at the kitchen table and watching that hard work and effort. And so that really changed the trajectory of her life as well as mine. I was also able to take DSU dual credit classes when I was in high school, which set me up for success kind of going into college. And so those things alone, I think, had a huge impact. But if you think about the impact that DSU has on the community in terms of the students it brings in, the economic impact for Dickinson, we really we need DSU in the community. And so, like I said, it's just really easy to support DSU and the foundation because of everything that it brings to Dickinson.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, kind of sharing your story a little bit, giving us some insight news about Yuletyme. We're excited to see you guys this Saturday.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Hawk Talk segment, A Minute with Easton, where we give President Easton 60 seconds to answer a question. So before, we asked you kind of your experience about an attorney, but what about your transition from being an attorney to a president?
Well, the first transition was from practicing law full-time to teaching law. That was about 25-ish years ago, and then transitioned from full-time teaching to being the dean of a law school for a little while, for about 4.5 years. And then to doing this work where we are primarily, not exclusively, but primarily an undergraduate institution. Of course, we don't have a law school at Dickinson State, but we do have graduate programs. I do think it's helpful in some ways to have been an attorney. Attorneys tend to look at things very logically and also are comfortable dealing with conflict, so I think that's helpful, but I don't know if I've fully made the transition yet. Other people can be the judge of that.
And that's perfect. That's time. Thank you so much for your time, President Easton.
All right, thanks much.
What's up, everybody? My name is Xander Beeson, and I'm here with this week's DSU Weekly Recap. Last week, the boys basketball team played 2 games in Scott Gymnasium, and the girls were on the road in South Dakota playing against Haskell and the College of the Ozarks. This week, the boys will be playing in Jamestown, and the girls will be playing at the University of South Dakota. For wrestling, the ladies will be at home versus Jamestown, and the boys will be traveling to Havre, Montana. Shout out to Carson Lunak to wrestle Montana State University Northern. Track season is officially back. Both teams will be making the drive to Bismarck to compete at UMary for the Marauder Invite. Lastly, I want to give a huge shout out to all of our fans and supporters who keep Hawk Talk going, and as always, Hawks are up.